A very warm welcome to this short presentation about the Access course that you're just about to embark upon. In it, we're just going to look at some of the preliminary questions that people often wonder as they're about to set out on the course.
The next week is devoted to study skills.
And these are important sessions because they'll equip you with the academic skills that you need to get the best possible grades for the rest of the course. The science part of the course proper will begin at the beginning of October. The Access course itself is what's called a unitised course. Unlike A-levels, where a percentage is used to decide whether you've passed or not, and if so, at what level, with the Access course, it's all or nothing. You either pass a unit or you do not pass it. And you can pass the individual parts of the course at several levels, pass, merit or distinction, and we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes' time. In terms of the science part of the course, which is by far and away the majority of your course,
there is a mix of end-of-unit exams and coursework assessment.
In total, we'll be dividing the science up into
14 units
of science, and each of those units is worth 3 credits. Obviously, attendance and punctuality are absolutely key for success on the Access course, and you need to allow as much time for private study as you have in the classroom. Each unit will be assessed as it's completed, and your performance will be graded as pass, merit or distinction. If you fail one of the assessments or assignments, you can take a second different sitting, which also will be gradable at pass, merit or distinction. If the second attempt is unsuccessful, then you will usually, at the discretion of the Access team, be allowed a final third attempt, which will be capped at pass. And there are strict limits on the number of times you can actually retake assignments. If you make a non-submission or you submit an assignment and it's been done in a superficial manner or half of the questions aren't answered, then non-submissions can only be addressed by a capped attempt at pass. So let's have a look at the units themselves. There's a pretty even split between biology and chemistry. You'll see that these are the biology units that you'll be studying, and then we've also got chemistry units as well. And all of the units this year, all of the units are new, they've been rewritten, and they're individually worth 3 credits. And everybody needs to take all of the units. So you'll see there are 21 biology credits and 18 credits at chemistry/biochemistry. This gives you a total of 39 credits, and in addition to those 39, you'll be doing a further 6 credits with a different tutor on the individual scientific investigation.
Notice also that there is a further 3-credit science unit called Practical Science Skills. This one is ungraded, but last year's students particularly said that it would be really good if all the practical work they did gained some credit. In term 1, we would expect to complete the first 4 units, which are 3 of the biology units, including microbiology, and one of the chemistry units called biomolecules. In term 2, we would expect to see off another 5, a mix of chemistry and biology. And then in term 3, we've got our final 4 units, and we'll be finishing off with the biology unit called evolution and ecology. All the way through the year, there will be the practical science skills unit running. So every time we do a practical, or at least in most cases when we do a practical, that will actually count towards your practical science skills unit. But we'll talk about that more when we actually start the science.
At the end of each term, there is usually a review week for people to catch up on missed work, to do resits, or to have tutorials with their personal tutor to address progress issues.
Of course, the burning issue that's probably occupying your mind is, how do I pass the course? And on the Access course, the Access to Science course, you'll encounter a range of assessment methods really designed to mirror the sort of things that you'll meet at university. And so some of the things that you do will involve examinations under timed conditions. There will probably be at least one open book examination. You'll also be involved with the microbiology, for instance, in writing up your work, your science work, and analysing it and recording it in a timely fashion. And then you've got some straightforward workbook type assessments involving some of the units. So all in all, you've got a complete range. Again, with the practical science skills unit, it's not graded at pass, merit or distinction, but don't think that that lets you off the hook. You still have to pass it. And in order to pass it, you have to do a reasonable amount of work to a good standard.
In terms of resources available to you, you don't immediately need to rush out and start buying books. There will be some unit texts given to you and handouts to accompany the units, but we can talk about possible books that you can buy during the sessions, and there will be some information on Moodle. Moodle will be a great mainstay to you. It's the college network that you will have access to as a student, and it will have individual sections for the science, and there will be additional material on there in terms of videos, printed material, as well as the dreaded assignments that you have to do. You'll also receive regular tutorials with your personal tutor, and if you have individual science queries, then you'll need to see me to make an appointment so that we can have a chat about the query at our leisure. People often say, well, I need to get 21 credits at merit or distinction. What's the best way to set about that? There are a number of things you can do to maximise your chances of success. One of them, an obvious one, is to organise your time. Make sure you've got enough time. Remember that rule I said of as much time outside college as you spend inside college on your course. You also need to organise a working space. Now, that might be a working space at home. It could be that you work at college, which is often the way to ensure that you're not interrupted very much. You may have to do a mix of the two, or you may have to work in the late evening after the children and the family have gone to bed. But these are all things that you'll find your own pace at. Don't forget as well, obviously it's going to be hard work and a very intensive course, but make time for some relaxation as well. That's very important. Make sure you don't have too many late nights. Make sure your diet is good. Keep yourself in fine fettle. And the occasional party, absolutely fine, as long as you don't turn up stoned or drunk the next morning for college, in which case you'll be shown the door. Looking ahead to the end of the course, you should already have made inquiries with the universities that you go to about their specific entry requirements. Don't just rely on the printed material. Speak to somebody at the university, tell them what the course is that you're doing, give them information about the units, and ask them if this is what they're looking for. It's particularly important with the highly competitive subjects at university, such as physiotherapy, nutrition and dietetics, pharmacology, biomedical science. Check with those universities now and make sure that what you're doing is what they're looking for, and also to give you an idea of what you need to aim for in terms of your actual achievement, in terms of merits and distinctions. You'll find that later in the year, around about January, when you start to get offers from universities, that although UCAS points are used for access courses, in most cases the universities will still phrase their offers in terms of X number of credits at distinction or merit. Or they might just say, Joy, that they just want to see you pass the access course. So that's just a brief rundown of some of the key points about the access course. You'll be getting lots more information over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and anything you're not sure of, obviously just ask your study skills tutors or your personal tutor.